Okay. You guys are on your third table. Are you on your third table? Okay. Now I see. I see. It's going to be a long day. Eh? You need paper. Okay, welcome to my table. So here we're serious. We take things seriously. Ne? If you were playing around there, you get here and not talking. William, not talking. I'm playing, guys. If you are serious in other tables, this is the most relaxed table ever. We're just here to drink. My name is Aphiwe, for those who don't know me. And in this table, we're doing a Berliner Weiss. Interesting thing is that the brewer of this beer is here today, Megan. She's there. So if you like it, compliment her. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself. No, you're going to like it. You were making faces. No, you're going to love it. So you guys can start pouring. I just put some here. So Berliner Weiss. Any guesses when the beer style started? Yeah, do you guys hear that? Did you manage to guess? It's a Berliner Weiss. So can you guess where the beer style started? Where? Yes. Oh, please pour. You have an extra? I'll also get some. Cool. So I don't. Okay. The corner here, you're gonna ignore them because they are already 10 steps ahead. So I'll work with my people this side. The corner here knows too much. They're too learned. They already like filled the form already, and we haven't even started. So you guys know with beer tasting, obviously we look, we check clarity, we make comments for appearance. So the brewer has made a comment on the label that she's used hibiscus flower, so hence the color. So when we do the judging, when we write our notes down there, we will not penalize for the color, because by style guides, a Berliner Weiss is obviously not meant to look like this. But because she's used hibiscus flowers, hence the change in the color. It's picked up the color of the ingredient. So when we enter beers, when you guys do your beers and you enter them, please make sure that you enter the right category. And also if you've added anything extra outside of the norm of the style, that you make the judges aware so that you don't get penalized for something that you had intentionally planned to do. Ne? Then on aroma is the smell. Because it's a sour beer, you're supposed to smell the sour notes. But the key thing for me, what I like about this beer specifically, that the sour is not overwhelming. It's a very nice, subtle sour. You can pick up the hibiscus. Because the other thing we look at is if someone says they've added, like for example, they're doing a stout and they say they've added vanilla pawns or whatever, can you pick it up? You know, are you able to? And also, in the beer, does it complement? Does it come together? It doesn't taste like it's two different products. You know what I mean? So with this one, are you guys smelling? Are you picking up the hibiscus? Are you picking up a bit of the citrus? It's not overpowering the beer. that you can still pick up that the base beer is a Berliner Weiss.
Oh, 1, 2 tasting, 1, 2. Okay, so I'm picking like overripe grapefruits. And yeah, and definitely hibiscus.
Are you guys picking up, Letu says he's picking up a grapefruit, overripe grapefruits? What are some of the guava?
Speckworm.
A speckworm. It's an Afrikaans thing. We're in Bloemfontein after all. What are you guys smelling?
The smell, it's like, I don't know whether it's fruity or it's. It is.
Smells like wine.
Okay. But I think okay, we make notes of those descriptors, and then on obviously, depending on I don't have the full style guide with me now, but if you were doing a full on judging, you will compare to the style guide, and say, you know, by style are these meant to be there, and then be able to subtract points on the total so that obviously the scorecard looks is for the beer, and then on flavor, what are we tasting?
Sherbet thing, like when Barocca, like almost that sherbety in mouth. Like a tangerine.
I don't do sherbet. You are giving away your age. They're saying they can taste sherbet. Are you guys tasting sherbet? So the thing with judging, what we also try not to do is discuss the beer, like we're doing now. So when we're doing the official judging, you have to write the whole thing by yourself, then we discuss after. Because like now, I've just influenced him, because now all of a sudden he picks up the sherbet, which he was not picking up by himself before. So when we judge, we try and keep it so we don't influence each other. And it's very easy to be influenced by other Leonard colleagues. But what else are you guys tasting? How's the sour on the taste? Grapefruit? It's sour. What are your thoughts? Yeah. What I like about this beer personally is that it's not too sour. Yes, it's a very clean, subtle, it's not overpowering sour. It doesn't linger, because sometimes you find, like, you know, when you eat sour worms, and then it's like it stays on. You're like, I don't personally. That's just my personal preference. I prefer a sour that's like a clean sour that you can have another one. Were you happy to go for another sip after the first one? Yes, because even Megan was saying that, you know, if you, from the first one, especially if you just had cold drink, calcium, what did you have? The calcium vitamin. And so the first sip can be a bit overwhelming, because remember your palate had just maybe had Coca-Cola, for an example. So when you have a first sip of this, it can be a bit of a, what's that? So you have to have another sip. And just also leave it in your tongue. Like, just play around with it so that you can get all the different flavors. And the nice thing with beer drink tasting is that we don't spit, we swallow everything. So even if you don't like it, you have to, because you need to get, you know, the how it feels once you've swallowed. Like, does it linger? Because you only get that at the back of your tongue. As it goes down, what is that sensation that you're getting? Does it linger? Does it continue being a smooth sour, or does it have a bit of a back bite, which we don't really want? And then we also talk of mouthfeel on the form. I'm sure you guys are feeling the forms now as I'm talking. That is not an excuse. Then we talk about mouthfeel. So mouthfeel talks to like your carbonation. How does it? Is it the body? Is it a light body? Is it drinking? The carbonation level. Do you think it's heavily carbonated, or is it just like a medium, or is it low? There's no carbonation at all. It's flat. Does it have a warming effect? Not. Typically, this beer is meant to be more easy drinking, a bit with a bit more carbonation, so that some people call it the champagne of beers, which I think is a description that fits nicely. And then the last block is about your overall impression. So here we typically write, I personally like to write about, just give the brewer some feedback overall. I enjoy the beer, well-brewed beer. Oh, what the? No, we don't say such things. Like, what were you thinking? How did you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning to brew this nonsense? We don't say such things. We give positive criticism and things that will help the brewers. So how many of you guys that enter beers, do you get your Scotch hits back? I know first timers. You've been here before. Is it your first? Oh, okay, I'm talking to first timers here. But normally when you go back to university, the judges are supposed to give you back your Scotch hits, because that's where you get feedback. So if your beer didn't win from the score sheet, you're able to see, what were the comments, what didn't they like about your beer, how do you improve it so that next year when you come, so you don't come and brew the same beer that you brewed this year, because now you don't know what were the issues. So the judging is not just to obviously crown, because there can only be one winner, but it's also meant to help you as a brewer to improve. Personally, I always look at my score sheets, and I always look who has judged my beer. And if it's Bruce, I'm like, I know he's going to comment about the hops. So just not to see who judged, but to say, what were the issues? How do I improve my beer? How do I improve my brewing? Because, you might have thought as a brewer, because obviously there's an element of being biased, because it's your beer. We all think our beers are the best thing to ever happen on earth. We all feel that we don't know why Castle is still around, because my beer should actually dominate the whole world, because it's the best thing since sliced bread. But not knowing that that's just my personal biased feel. There are people who are qualified judges who are going to critique my beer and actually go through it inside out and give me constructive feedback on, how do I improve it? How do I, did I use the right type of hop for the style? Did I use the right yeast? I could have maybe had a load shedding and during peak of fermentation and my yeast got stressed, So those are things that I probably would not have more control over, that the judges would also assist. So what do you guys think of this beer? Score-wise, are we on excellent? Are we outstanding? We are very good? Are we good? We are like, it's neither here nor there? Or are we like, oh my God, what is happening here?